Why is that? Why is that? What do I have in there? Oh, I see. Okie dokie, Mrs. Jones. That's better, isn't it? That's a little better, isn't it? Okay. Now, okie dokie 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 dokie. Aha. I don't see the title, but the title is the new business grants that the SBA is going to be giving out to probably 1 million small businesses. I mean, it's a little confusing right now, but there's $25 billion, it sounds like, they're going to make available. And that is, you could see in the links. Now, if you're watching, if you're a Lesco Help member, you could see it in the description for this. I have, there's articles, there's a video, and that describe what's going on. And what happened is the SBA didn't give out all their money. They have too much. So they got to give it out. And they haven't done it, they haven't announced this officially yet, but the head of the SBA gave an interview to the media. And so I have a copy of that article in the interview that she gave. And she says that they're going to, now they're going to announce in a few days that they have all this money that they're going to start giving out. So that sounds pretty good to me. I don't know about you, but it sounds pretty good. So that's why. How do you find out? Okay, now it's a loan. It's called a loan. Okay, and that's the EIDL. We've talked about that a lot, and a lot of people applied last year, and a lot of people didn't get it, and it was all screwed up. They said they were going to give you a $10,000 grant, and then they only gave you a $1,000 grant, and then they went back and said they'll give you more, and then so it is the gang who couldn't shoot straight, but they're trying to do too much too fast, and they weren't organized to do it. So now, with the new administration and the new head of the SBA, who seems, she seems pretty cool and is interested in helping small businesses. So they got all this money now, and see, as of just a couple of days ago, you couldn't apply for the EIDL unless you already applied. And then if you already applied and didn't get money, they were sending out emails to people to apply now. Those who applied and didn't get it before, they were getting emails. Okay, now it looks like, and I'm guessing from the little information, we'll know, better in a few days. But it looks like all of a sudden they found a lot of money in the sofa, in the living room sofa. Wow, look, we got $25 billion we got left in the sofa here. So they got to get rid of that. So now they expect, it sounds like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of businesses. So it's going to be, now it's called a loan. So if you go to SBA.gov now and you look for EIDL, you'll see that in the small print, they give you a grant. It's called a loan. It's a very low interest loan, but you have to apply for that loan. And when you apply for the loan, if you're approved for the loan, then they give you a grant. Then they say, okay, you could apply for this. It's either a $10,000 grant or a $5,000 grant or both. And so then they give you that. So it's a two-step process, but it's very interesting what's going on. But I mean, from the little data I've seen, it looks like it could be millions of people, that are going to get this, or at least 700, 800,000. I don't know. Nobody knows. Everybody's guessing until it comes out, for sure. But this is what the SBA lady said, so she can't lie on purpose. It doesn't do much for her reputation if she starts doing that. So that's very important. So EIDL, and I put it in the comment section in Lesco Help. So if you're a member, all the links are there. If you're not, just start a new discussion, and I'll do it, in the morning and follow up, to get you what you need. But basically, what you have to do is work with your. I mean, there's a lot of people on the internet that say they do this and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, to me, you want to work with somebody who's part of the SBA. So that's either an SBA local office or your small business development centers. The small business development centers are people that are getting money from the SBA to help you. Okay. The other people are going to have to get money from you in another way. So they're going to sell you something somewhere. And they don't know. The SBA has to tell them. So I'm sure the SBA is going to tell their people first so they know. So, and no matter who you call, I mean, you call Wampley or all these other people that help you with these government programs, or, they're going to be tied up too. So you might as well be tied up with the horse's mouth, which is either the SBA or the SBDC, Small Business Development Centers. They're in every county. So you could always find a local. And what you do, if you call local office and they don't answer, whatever, call another office. Look, you know how to search the internet. So you look for the SBA in Alaska. And you call there now because, on the East Coast it's 9 o'clock, but what is it, 3, 4, 5 hours earlier out in Alaska. So somebody's probably there and they don't get much business. So they know the same information as the people in New York City who are closed now anyway. So that's what I used to do with the IRS to get help with the IRS. I used to just call around the country, little towns that nobody calls them. So you could do that, with the IRS, with the SBA. And now also there's lots of money at the state and local governments for small businesses too. Now, how do you find that? If you remember, I send you all the sources in your state whose job it is to help you start or expand your business. So every state gives money to nonprofit organizations and government offices. They get paid. You don't have to pay them. And they get paid just to help you for free. So it's all they do. So they are there to help you for free. So what you really should do, you call every one of those. So there's a half a dozen or more, maybe a dozen. You just go down the list, and call these. Hey, I need help for my business. I need help for my business. Do you have any suggestions? Any programs I'm missing or whatever? I need help for my business. That's what you do. And members, go to testimonials too in the, the guides. So there's a tab on Facebook group on top called Guides, Guides. If you go up there to Guides, then you'll see testimonials 2. We got 1, 2, and I think we have a 3 yet. It's nothing in there yet. But I just put a testimonial up there of this fellow, and it really is ideal on what you're going to run into. And this is a fellow who just got, 6, 7, 8, 10 months of rent grants. And he said, first of all, I'm sorry I don't have it to read verbatim, but if you remember to go there. But the process, first of all, he went on the internet and applied to everywhere in the state he could think of to get. Okay, nothing happened. Then he started getting on the phone. And after a few calls on the phone, then they were giving him other numbers. People were now giving him nonprofit organizations in the area that supposedly had help. Then he had to make 8 different phone calls to finally find the right office for him. Then the office had to send him a form. Then the office had to contact his landlord, and they had to send in a form. And this has taken weeks now. And now he finally got approval that he's going to get all this rent paid. Okay, so you're not going to press a button and get a check, okay? It's going to take the phone, I believe. It may not, and you may get real lucky. But most likely you're not. And so that's why if you read his story, that to me is more of a typical what's going to happen. And you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared for that, you're going to get pissed off early. And you're going to stop. And you don't want to do that, because that's when you give up. You're not going to get anything. And you don't want to be one of those people who gets nada, nothing. I'm trying to see if I get the YouTube thing closer to me so I could read that. Matthew, can a person who owns an online-only business apply? Of course, a business is a business. You could be a hooker and apply. You got a business. I'm not really sure about the hooker thing. But tell you the truth, I know the SBA's finance porno shops on 42nd Street. You're in business. Well, what the heck? The hooker should be doing a Schedule C, right? Or he. Yo, my brother, good to see you. I am so computer illiterate. Have Lesco help. Don't know how to access it. Well, you have to go onto Facebook to get Lesco help. Or we have two places for Lesco help too. We have Lesco help, which is the Facebook. So if you go to www.facebook.com/groups, for groupie, groups, GROUPS, and then you put slash, so that's www.facebook.com/groups/Lesco help. When you're there, you have to sign in and you have to get approval. So if you already paid, it should be okay. It'll have your email and you'll be okay. If you're not, then send us an email at lescohelp@gmail.com and we'll straighten that out if something's screwed up. Now we have another one. So if Lesco Help on Facebook, join that anyway. You get on there first. And if that's a little intimidating, because it is for me too. I haven't learned all that stuff yet too. We have another one that's a lot easier, and it's on a platform called Mighty. I was going to say Mighty Facebook Network, Mighty Network. But anyway, it's Lesco Help too, and you get on to Lesco Help, and we give you the link because you have to be a paid member to get on Lesco Help. So if you're there, then we could give you the link, and we give you that link. You go there, and it's a lot easier to use. If you try to go without that link, it's going to ask you for $20 again, and you don't want to do that because you already paid $20. See, this is you get really 2 platforms, and the second one, Let's Go Help 2, is more on organizing by state, so that people could help each other more. That's what I'm trying to do, is get more people to help each other, because that's the key. If we're all helping each other, then we all become stronger from it. And that's why the fellow who gave the story. So you go to Let's Go Help and read that testimony about how the steps involved and the weeks and after filling out all the forms on the internet, that did nothing. Then he had to get on the phone, and that started doing something. And then he even had to make 8 phone calls or more to do that. See, this is what the situation is. This is how to live. This is how to get what you need. And still there's no guarantee. But if you don't follow that, man, your chances are slim to none, and as far as I could tell. And some people will, so it's not ultimately. But if you really want to get help, you have to, every time something doesn't work, you have to be flexible to try something else. And the best way to find out what else to try is to ask people who are doing that kind of work where you live now, because they've helped a lot of people. They will know a lot more than you will ever know, or I will ever know, because I don't know all the people locally, all the programs. Daniels William, the Lesco giveaway is through the money that received from the PPP. Right. Actually, and we're going to give more after this because I'm looking at, well, if we make profit, we will give the profit back to members. So if you want to know about our giveaway program, we were first going to give away $10,000, $1,000 each to 10 people. Now we're going to give it to 15 people. So no, the 10 more will get $500 a piece. No, not is that right? 10 more. So that's 20 people, right? 20 people. And so now we have $15,000 we're giving. And all you have to do is the easiest application in the world to get a $1,000 grant. You get 500 or 1,000. So it's sort of like second place winners. And we're going to give out $15,000. And after this is over, we're going to do more, because we're fumbling through on the first try at this to figure out how many screw. It's sort of like the SBA and the EIDL. They screwed up, and they got to get it right. And they still screwed up again, and we do it too. I mean, it's just. And anytime you do anything quickly, you're going to screw up more. And that's the name of the game. That's how you live, and that's how you struggle through life nowadays. It's just doing that. So we'll do it again, but you still have until July 4th to apply for this. And all you have to do is go to the Facebook group, www.facebook.com/group/Lesco Help, and put in your story. Start a new discussion. And actually, that's also where I'm still trying to answer every discussion that starts. So you want to ask me a question, you just put in that discussion. I enjoy reading those. I enjoy hearing what the problem is, so I could stretch my imagination to see how I could help you. And I learn from your problems. I mean, my expertise is finding sources. So if I don't know something now, then I go out and try to find something. And so you make me grow by asking me something I don't know. But I know there's an answer, see? So you don't. So you're going to give up. So that's why I want to get you close. And that's why the stuff I give you, then that's just a start, man. You just go through that stuff and call everybody and say, okay, you can't help me? Is that because you're just lazy and don't want to do anything? or you really can't help me? Either way, what you do is you ask those people, now where else can you think of that I could possibly get the help I need? And that's our own minds are too small. The world is too big for any one of us to know enough to help ourselves even. That's why I'm trying to get the group, the Lesco Help people, to help each other, because it's sort of like an ant colony. One ant colony could be a little piece of sand and everything, but they build these big mounds, right? Because they all work together doing that. And that's what I sort of see Lesco Help. We're all little ants running around. We all know a little bit, but we can all help each other, and we become much more powerful that way, and helping each other that way instead of. That's why I'm trying to keep it cheap as hell, man. I hope I can reduce the cost, not make more money. I want to make less money. That's why the money we're making now, I want to start giving it back, to you guys, because this is you are the most important thing in Lesco Help, not me, you, because you're the glue that keeps us all together and helps other people that we, me and the researchers can't do everything, We don't know enough. You know more. You know what you're in your city. That's why you just keep putting things in there in the discussion, whether it's on Lesco Help 2 or Lesco Help. Hey, did you know this? Did you know that? Ah, look at this, what I got. Hey, that share with us, brag or whatever about your help, because I hope we build that Lesco Help 2 by state. That way we can get by state, because so much is by state. And by the way, people who are not Lesco Help, and I think Lesco Help is the best thing. By the way, all the things that I have on Lesco reports, all those reports, and there's 7 of them now for each state. There's one for paying bills and expenses and debt. There's one for starting a business or a nonprofit or an invention or being a freelancer. And these are, we call them mini grant reports for your state. So there's one for bills, expenses, and debt, one for business and nonprofit, one for housing and real estate. So all the programs for buy houses, fix up houses, or invest in real estate. There's one for getting jobs, education, and training, and they're separate for every state. See? And there's one for health care, dental care, pet care. That's right, pet care, prescription drugs, and the program's just for your state. And there's one for legal help. We just did that and finished that up. So all that, and see, legal help is how to get out of bills too. See, I mean, that's the fat cats don't pay their bills. They find a law. They don't have to. So besides getting even and getting justice with the law, you could get not to pay your bills is another thing. Yeah. So that's there. And then we have for each state is free research. So there are people in every state that will do research for you. The same thing I suppose we charge you $30 a month for, you get for free by a dozen or so organizations that get paid by the government, nonprofit organizations to do. Angie, you got it when I checked the link. Which link, Angie, that you didn't get? I see their hot link. The Mount Vernon or the video or find a local office. This is on Lesco Help. Said she clicked something and didn't link. They all look hot like that. I'm afraid to click it myself because I'm going to lose you. When I'm live like this, I hate clicking around because as soon as I click around, something doesn't like it and something won't come back. So tell me again. I'll put it in again later. I'll check in because I cut and pasted it from something else I just did this morning. When I go out running, I went out late today, and I do like 6-7 miles every day. I can't run anymore. And my muscles and bones are in there, I can, but it's my mind. I just can't, I can't run and chew gum. I can't walk and chew gum. I can't, and running goes too fast for me to make decisions. How do you find health and legal? Well, if you remember, we'll just send it to you, whatever. Otherwise, it's $5. All those reports are $5 a piece. I want to keep them real cheap, or $5.95. And if you go to Lesco, Lesco reports, reports.com, lescoreports.com, and there's $5.95. You get any one of those for $5.95. And that's, to me, all these people that sell financial help and everything. I mean, they want to charge hundreds and thousands and things like that. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy who charges you $5. $20 is max you could spend with me. And that's and the best deal to me is Lesco Help, because you get all those reports, as many as you want. I'll do research. You could ask me 100 questions a day if you want. And if it's about government programs, I don't think there's anybody in the country knows more about it than me. Other people may know segments more than me, of course, but in an overall thing. And what frustrates me is that rich people use all these very heavily, and that's why I learned. I learned by, doing this stuff for thousands of dollars for rich people. They're no fun to work for. They don't have fun. I want to have fun in my life. I get dressed like this and go give a speech to Fortune 500 companies. Actually, I do. Back when I started, I didn't have that kind of courage. All I know is I wasn't having fun doing it. And they weren't having fun either. That's the biggest problem. The people I was giving talks to, like Procter & Gamble and Citibank and all those kind of people that were my clients at the time, 20th Century Fox and everything, they didn't have fun at all. They wouldn't even laugh at my tacky jokes. Or that was no fun. I was a member. You was. Hey, well, thank you. I got to switch. I'm afraid to move anything. Once I'm online, I just don't want to move because then something will happen and it'll disappear. Let's see. Good evening, Matthew. Okay, perfect, because my situation is horrible and unbelievable. Oh, that's good. Great job. Thank you, Priscilla. How do we find them? Health and legal, yes. Which type of health should I be researching? What type of health? You don't have to research. I give you sources. See, what happens is I give you a list of people to call. And that's what you need. I mean, you're trying to find it in Google, but you can't. Because the people that Google will show you to call are people that want to get your money. All the people I show you to call are people who want to give you money. That's a basic problem. You're right. All my stuff that I give you are in Google somewhere, but you'll never find it. Well, maybe you will, but I doubt it. And because Google is they make money by getting money from people, and they get money from people by advertising, and the people give them money to advertise, want people to buy their stuff. So Google tries to find you to sell them, so they can show you stuff that you'll spend money on, so they can stay in business and make trillions of dollars. I got to get this data there now. People like Google and things like this are bigger in value than General Motors or any big company that we used to have in the manufacturers, in the technology, but just a fraction of the number of people does it employ. So when we had all these people in manufacturing, these new companies now are even worth more money and employing a hell of a lot less people. So that's why you have to be aware of these big things that are going on in our society and try to catch waves that are going. Another thing I'm going to get into more is get more people to learn how to make extra money, not from just grants, but from doing things. And because people are hiring people and giving people money just on the internet. It doesn't take much, and you don't have to have much. I mean, more and more people, when I first started being online, only about 10% of people over 50 were on the internet. And that was, what was it? Probably 10 years ago or so. Now, most seniors are. The hip people don't join Facebook because their grandparents are on it. So young kids, they don't want to be on Facebook. Granny's on Facebook. So they're doing TikTok and all this other stuff. That's where they're at. And that seems like more my market, maybe because I'm just an old fart and I speak to that more. But it's important. I mean, I'm not important. What I do is not serious. I mean, my work is serious to me, but I'm not serious about me. I could be replaced and I'll be gone. I'm a speck of dirt. That will be off the planet soon. Well, I hope in about 15 years at least. I got too much to do. I got to build this report for every state. I want to, I only have 7 things in there by state. I want to have 24 or more. Plus, I want to build a community that helps itself in trying to help the government use the government and nonprofits, because the government looks like is never going to do it. Because I've been doing this for 30 or 40 years thinking it should have been done by the government, but they never will. So I feel, well, now that I got Lesco Health going, that should be the platform for building that. So when I go and the rest of us listening now are gone, that we have a community that has learned the system and how to use it and how to teach other people to use it. So if we all teach other people, I mean, And don't forget, it's nothing you use for everything in life. Yeah. And I truthfully believe it's nothing that you want to make a living at. Most of the programs are for help. When you're in trouble, you want to build, you want to do something, change something you're doing. And that's what government programs are mostly for. Some are, continue that people really need help, and you got to know about those too. So it's all kinds, and that we have to make sure that we're teaching each other about these, and in a respectful way. And that's what is so inspiring to me, that so many people in Lesco Help are saying, "Oh, I want to be giving like you are." I don't think I'm giving it. I know it's fun to give, but I love doing it so much. I would give it all away, but I got to stay in business. I got to pay my rent. But it is the most selfish thing I think we do in life is give. And we have something now that we're in the technology-based lifestyle, that we can tell other people about important things that could help them. And so many of our population is older and getting older, so they grew up in an era that they didn't have. I mean, this internet stuff was what, 10, 15, 20 years old, maybe max. And so if you're 60, if you're 20, you've been on it all your life. If you're 30, you've been on it since you've been 10 years old, for 20 years. But if you're 50, more than half your life you weren't on this thing, so you're not sure. You're still relying on other stuff. I don't publish reference books anymore. I haven't for 15 years or more, because that's how do you reach people. Here, look. Now what do we have? A couple hundred people on YouTube, and gosh, I mean, and it cost me nothing. I got a cheap iPhone or whatever, and I got right to do video. When I was doing commercials and things, it cost $100,000 to do this. To get a camera crew and all that kind of stuff, and then to get time, that would cost another $100,000. Now the time is free, and the production is nothing. And it shows. But people relate to that, it seems more. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go because I want to answer some questions. So, club members, I've scheduled a call before. I don't do calls. Denise, no, the way I help one-on-one is either here, when I'm on live, or on the discussion. 25 years ago, we were just watch you on TV. Yes, yes, yes. That was me, with no gray hair. And this light just lights up my hair like a halo. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't do one-on-one phones. I do. You catch me one-on-one by starting a discussion on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, on Facebook. So members could start a discussion on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook, and I answer every discussion personally. So that's where I get. So tell me what you're looking for money for. Start a discussion. I answer. It may take me 48 hours. And I usually get it in 24 or less, but that's about the maximum I think I ever had to wait, because I answer everyone personally, and there's no shortcut in life to do that. I can hire people to do it or something but I don't want to. I'd rather give you the best possible, so you have to wait a few hours more. You waited this long, so that's a few hours. Is there any way I can get a week comp? No, I don't have that, because I had no idea. Not sure what idea you mean. But what you can do, don't forget the Lesco reports. That's only $5.95. So you don't have to go, because a lot of people don't like subscription. The $19.95 is subscription, so that's monthly. So you have to remember to cut me off when you don't want me anymore. What I was doing when I became a member, I'm not sure yet. How do I join? You join by going to lescohelp.com, and it's in the description in Facebook, in YouTube, in the description, and also the links about the new grant for businesses that is $15,000, up to $15,000 grant that's going to be given out, they say as many as millions of small businesses. It's a brand new thing. It's not even out yet. It's going to be a few days apparently, so you keep an eye out for that. It's an SBA thing, so your local SBA offices will know about it. And also, to me, what's even better than the SBA offices are the small business development centers. They have one-on-one counseling for free. The small business development centers, they're terrific. I think they're the best deal. I used to go to them all the time and get all this stuff for free, and then sell it to my Fortune 500 clients for thousands of dollars. Right? They're just lazy and rich. And I said, well, the people who don't have that money should know about this stuff. They don't have to hire me. This is a DIY stuff. I want to do it yourself. I want to show you how to do it yourself. Instead of hiring people like I used to be, charge you thousands of dollars. But I'm getting my subscription too. I'm getting my subscription. Yeah, I'll start with that. Okay, good. The reports are a good taste. It's being a peanut, or you have a little issue with healthcare, or you have a little issue with your bills. You can just get one of those reports, follow it up, and get a lot of stuff done to see how this system works a little more. But it still takes, whatever you do from me or from those reports or whatever, it's still going to take work on your side. There's no shortcut. You may get lucky and it may not be much, but you have to be prepared, because otherwise, if you're not prepared, you'll give up too soon and you won't solve your problem. The only way you solve problems is to keep at it. So if you're not willing to keep at it, you probably won't solve your problem. And that's not good. Most problems are solvable, and the way they become solvable is that you work at it enough to see other opportunities and other ways to solve the problem besides the way you think you had to solve the problem. See, that's the key to doing the research, is you see other opportunities you never knew to ask for. See, you're doing research now. Well, I need $100,000 because that makes sense to me, and to do something I never done before. But if you've done it before, you would think of 5 other ways you could do that. And that's why if you start talking to people, they've already done that and found other ways to do that. See, than what you know, because you've never done it before. So that's why experience is, I used to poo-poo experiences, but now I'm getting a little, no. I think my success now, and I've been struggling this for 15 years till I found out how to package this. And now it is, I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. It's so rewarding. It's never been this way. I've been on, Oprah a couple times and Letterman a dozen times or whatever. And maybe about 6 or 7. And on every big talk show, and 2 New York Times bestsellers, a syndicated column for New York Times, and Good Housekeeping, all that kind of stuff. But it's never been this rewarding. And it's because of the internet and one-on-one I'm helping. I could see, and that's what there was no way for me to be able to take your question and give you a specific answer. And then like the fellow who just came back and just got $20,000 or whatever it is to pay his rent. And he told me step by step how he did it with the information I gave him. And he had to do a lot of work. But he got it. And hearing that and seeing that I somehow played a role in that, I didn't give him the money, so I don't take credit for solving his problem. I just take credit for educating that these possibilities are there. And again, the possibilities. I can't guarantee that people will get the help they need. I just know it's there, and it's maybe. And you have to try. I can't guarantee you'll get a date. I just know that a lot of ladies out there, and here's where they are. You got to ask them, see what happens. or guys, or whatever, whatever it is. Or now it's they, whatever. Okay, I'm fading, guys. This is an old guy who lives for the early bird special. Is it better to get grants as nonprofit? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about nonprofit grants or whatever. Just go out and get help. Just say, I want to do this. I need help. Where do I go? I want to do this. I need help. Where do I go? I want to do this. No, because the answer depends on so many things. You can't tell. And you just gotta get out there and try and ask and talk to people. Don't just go around in circles looking for what you need in Google, because you're looking for something you think you need. and if you start talking to people, you realize that, oh shit, I didn't really need that. I need this. And that's the only way you can grow. You're stuck in the stuff. It's like the tar baby, they're stuck in the tar and they can't move. Thank you, man. Yeah. Good night. Yeah, good night. Well, thank you, guys, and I'll be here, I hope, 15 more years. I'm 78, so 15. 93 seems not bad. Huh? I see a lot of old bits. A lot of people. Actually, what I heard today or yesterday, I was listening to something. Kids born today, like 25% are going to live to 100. Wow. That's going to cause a problem. That's why we can't retire at 62. Everybody's living to 100 or 25% of them. We can afford that, right? So that's right. Find something you love to do and you can do it forever. 78. I could have retired at 62, so supposedly, and go down in Florida and play golf. That just sounded stupid. But to other people, I guess, who hate their job, I got something I love to do it, and that gives me energy to live and to enjoy life to the fullest. And I appreciate it because you are the reason I'm doing this. If it wasn't you responding that way, I'd be throwing vegetables at the TV and complaining like all the people do in Florida. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, don't forget, in the description, I have the links for the new $15,000 business grant. And it's for small businesses in financial trouble. Now, you must know somebody like that.